Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live in Conversation with. We are once again live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. It's a slightly different time today because there's a very good reason for that. I'm very, very proud and pleased to be joined today with by Maggie Carey. Hi, Maggie.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
I'm very good. Thank you very much for joining me.
Oh,
Uh,
my pleasure. Thanks for
Please tell
having me.
everyone who you are, what you do, and as well why we're doing it this time of day. Because I normally do this 10 o'clock in the morning in the UK time, but you're obviously not in the UK. So,
Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Maggie Carey. I am coming to you live from New York, and that is why Brian was so kind enough to switch his time up so that it hits our New York time here on the East Coast of the Americas. I'm a social media strategist. I met Brian, and I said, "What a great guy, and such." A valuable product that he sells. And he started asking me about Master It Media, which is my company. And what we do is we elevate brands by developing an engaging social media presence to build an audience of raving fans. This- a lot of businesses struggle with social. Um, People feel because you can do your own social media and post on Facebook and Instagram, that you can do your own social for your business. And it really is a totally different animal. So that's where Master It Media steps in. We have different ways that we help clients because not everyone is the same.
no, and I think that's a very good point, and I think it's important to say as well that there's a huge difference in the stuff you need to create for your audience if you're in the UK or if you're in the US, because people expect to see different things, don't they? So I think
Right.
I'm so happy to have you on this live today because you obviously represent the US part of that equation. So I'm very pleased that you've taken time to join me today. So thank you for that. So you're a business owner. I'm a business owner. Uh, we live in this world where we are under constant pressure. We feel to create this content constantly.
Right.
Um, Now, I'm lucky because I'm in a position where I don't actually have to do that myself, but the vast majority of small business owners probably feel they have to, don't they?
Oh, exactly. Because they've been told you need to post consistently. You need to be on all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, right? Like TikTok. You need to be everywhere because you don't know where people are going to find you, right?
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming and it's stressful and it's just you sit there and say to yourself, if I'm doing all of that, how do I actually run my business?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Where does the time come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle for businesses to figure out the platforms and look, they change every day. Instagram just announced that now all of your videos are going to be in reels if they're under 15 minutes, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, right. Just today, they announced, "Hello, new something new coming up." How does the average business owner keep up with those?
Right.
Just
Yeah, absolutely. Because I just as you said then, I think the first question for a lot of business owner would be, what on earth is even real?
mm,
So what are these things? There's so much terminology going on as well. All we know is that we need to advertise.
right,
Yeah, and how do we do that? And it's becoming a bigger and a bigger and a bigger thing because where's all that content going to come from?
right. And look, the beauty of this is, go back 20 years ago, prior to social media. How would a small business have a platform to compete against the big guys,
Yeah,
right? Now they could have a website and they need a website. When people say they don't need a website, I'm like, "Oh, yes, yes, you do." You have to have a website, right? Everything's got to work together. Your website, your social, your email list, your personal networking, all of it needs to connect. But with social media now, like versus 20 years ago, we're leveling the playing field. I can reach people across the pond, right? I
Yeah.
can reach people outside of my local area. So that's the positive end of it, right? But uh, how do you stand out in that cacophony
Mm.
of social media? And that was one of the struggles I had when I started my business was how am I going to um, stand out? How am I where should I be posting? How should I be posting? What should I be all those W's, right?
Yeah.
What am I going to do to draw attention from the right client, your ideal prospect? I just want to get the attention. And that's where we we look at everything,
Yeah.
right? Because the it's not just what you're selling, right? It's
No.
talking about the pain point that
Yeah.
that your customer has. What's the biggest pain point? So let's take your business, Brian. What's the biggest pain point you see businesses have that draw to you?
Time, I think.
Hmm.
Time, I think. And you're absolutely right. I completely agree. Something that came to my mind I was going to ask you because it feels to me like since this age of social media is evolving, it seems to me that we all have to shout louder and louder and louder.
Hmm.
As when we first started, the first, I think, maybe I can't remember. I'm going to show my age now. What came? I think did LinkedIn come before Facebook, or was it more or less the same time?
Yeah,
But
LinkedIn is older.
yeah, and I think Twitter as well. And it seemed to me that when we first started, it was a softer medium where you didn't have to shout as loud. And it seems to me that the content you have to bring has to be louder and louder. If you now go into the latest sort of TikTok thing, it's all about videos and doing these crazy things and dances and all that kind of stuff. So it seems to me that it's getting more and more extreme as well. Is that how you see it?
I see it getting more and more complicated, right? Like before, you could just post a picture, right? And people were struggling even with that,
Yeah,
right? Like think about Instagram, I just post a picture, right?
yeah,
Now I've got to be photo ready and I've got to video my whole life and I've got to, because video is really it's becoming with TikTok gaining so much traction, all of the other platforms are Instagram said in September, we are going to this last September, this is a year, almost a year ago now. We're going to be migrating to a video platform, right? So now we're looking at now I've got to create video where you had one image, now you have a 10-second, 30-second, 60-second video, which is difficult to find the time to create the video, edit the video, do right. And people think they have to do all of this, and it's very stressful.
yeah.
The
No,
thing,
absolutely.
the thing that I really want to stress today is your content as authentic as be your authentic self, which is the easiest thing to do because you're being you. You don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to pretend to, you know what? If you want to just grab your phone and talk, you really need your phone. That's like if you want to do social media, have a phone
Yes.
and record yourself, talk, um, be genuine. That's the thing that's standing out shockingly, and I think that's why TikTok, right? Because it was
Mm.
people having fun, people in edutaining, if right,
Yeah. Yeah.
doing these cool things, and it draws people's attention. So it's so funny because you can be loud, like you were saying, you can be loud, but sometimes the softer sell is attracting. It depends on your brand, right? It attracts the right audience.
Yeah.
It's so look, I empathize with my clients because I run a business and I not only have to be on social media, but I've got to like I've got to be on the cusp of what's going on. I don't have an excuse to say, oh well, I can wait. I can't, right?
No. No.
Um, TikTok is one of those things that yes, it's gaining a lot of traction, but there's also like it here in the US, they're trying to get it banned because there's some security issues that they have identified, right?
Sure.
So, if a, a person is an influencer on TikTok and a lot of their money is coming from being on TikTok, right? And being that influencer, what's going to happen when TikTok, if, not when, if TikTok disappears for them?
Yeah,
Same with
that's a
any
good point.
platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw an interesting post on LinkedIn just this morning that there are some legislation changes coming in Europe that's basically going to make it not viable for Facebook and stuff like that to financially, survive. So Mark
Wow.
Zuckerberg himself, was it about 6 months ago, actually put a question mark to Facebook and Instagram being there in 5 years' time. So that's going to make some huge changes to how people market themselves if those platforms disappears. I suppose something new just turns up and replaces them, right? But
Mhm.
one thing I just wanted to say as well on this thing about the changes in the content we need to deliver. When I first started doing these videos, I started them on LinkedIn. And this is something I'll say to anyone. I really didn't like doing it. I think there's a lot of business owners like you and me who feel the pressure of doing stuff like what we're doing today, doing videos, going live, and all that kind of stuff, but really don't feel comfortable in front of the camera.
Right.
I just want to say to that, I really didn't like it in the beginning. It took me a good 6 months. I used to do them I actually started them doing them every Wednesday. That's why I've continued to do them every Wednesday. And for the first 6 months, I really didn't like doing them. I
Yeah.
hated it. I'll be honest. I really did. I was trying to script them and doing all sorts of weird things, and it just didn't. But then, sort of, you get to a point where you sort of become numb to it.
Mm,
And I'll admit, right now, I actually quite enjoy doing them because
yeah.
it allows me to have these wonderful conversations with people like yourself. So, so if anyone out there who are really reluctant to do these things, just get started with
Start
it
it.
and keep going,
Yeah.
and then it will become a lot easier. I want to I want to sort of move it into it because I one of the reasons you've come on with me today is because you got this fabulous thing, painless posting, that I think really addresses a lot of these troubles and problems that people think they have with content. I
Right.
don't necessarily think that many business owners actually has these problems. It's something that sits in their minds more than it actually is a problem for them. But I like you to sort of describe to the world the painless posting because I think you got a fabulous product that will really be of interest to a lot of people who feel they're lacking the time to create the content.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. I don't know if I should have asked before we went live, but if I can share a screen, I can also show a little bit of it as well.
Of course you
So,
can. Yeah, of course you can.
um, painless posting was a brainchild, right? Like I we offer services catered to clients where we meet with them and we create their content for them. We do all the research and everything and pull out their photos and videos and create their content. But that's an expensive service that not every business owner can afford. And I have this need to help everybody. Like I have this really deep-seated need to like help people with their with social media, with a lot of things, but let's just talk social media. So that's where painless posting came from, and this tool is designed to give business owners and entrepreneurs 90% of the content done for them, and all they have to do is copy, paste, tweak it a bit for their brand and post. So it includes so many little things that I keep adding in, and it's evolving. So I'll share my screen a little bit so you can see some of it. So here is I just put it up there. Painless posting has content designed for every day of the month. So when we're looking here, of course, we've got how to get started. So you learn how to use the tool. There are also workshops and videos that help you learn more about using Canva, which is a tool we use with content and um, profiles and all these other things. But this is the joy of this product. When you go into the month, you are going to have designed for you a post per day. So if I scroll down here, you can see here are all the posts. Now we pick a color a month, but these graphics are all editable in Canva, and we teach you how to do that if you're not familiar with Canva. So today, if I go into August 3rd, here is where I'm going to see the post. And you just grab this post right here, and you can see there's a little teal section, a tag, and that's what you fill in. And my favorite thing with this is that I don't have to worry about what I'm going to post for the day. I just grab it and copy it and go for it. Now, the graphic, there's one here that they can use if they don't want to edit it. I always suggest edit your graphic because you want it branded.
Yes.
When they click on the graphic, what's going to happen is it opens up into Canva because we're streaming. It is taking a little while. It's usually very fast, um, but it opens it up in Canva and as a template so they can use it and
Now,
edit it.
I just bear with me once. So you said it opens up in Canva. So that's an image editing program. Do they need
Yes.
so if for most people they don't know what Canva is or have never used it before, do you need to subscribe to it or can you just use the tool from inside of your system the way it is?
That's a great question. So they do need to sign up, but this is the beauty of it. The way we've designed the use of this, it's the free version of Canva, so you don't have to pay for it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, so it's free. They can go in, and it's an so Canva is a graphic design tool, and you can do social media posts, and you can do a lot more. But it allows you to do things like come in here and change the color. So, like, let's pick a teal, right? I can go in here and I can change these pictures out. I can change the text. The one of the big things that we were asked, and I also recommend this to my clients too, my painless posting subscribers, when you are doing your content, it's really nice to batch your content, to do more than one. Whether you use painless posting or not, I strongly suggest batching your content. So this way you can create your content in one fell swoop for the month, for the week, however it works for your schedule. So we created this spreadsheet that you can use in Google Sheets, and it has a it's template based. So when you access this template, you can actually create your posts right in here, and it gives you
Nice.
every single post for the month. You can edit them, you can add your own content in the teal sections, and of course, the Canva templates are also provided in a batch so that you can access them as well. And
So if you are a novice and you want to use this and you're not the best with IT, how long would this take to learn, you reckon, for a first timer?
if if they have like tech skills, I would say it would take them probably, I would say, an hour to get used to it, right?
Yeah.
We've had people that have used it immediately and gone for it because they already have experience in Canva. If that's why we provide with uh, the main product, we provide my courses. So there are courses in Canva. We have three different courses. One is an intro course on the basics. One is about adding elements, which is a big part of the graphics, and the other is creating video. So they get more advanced as you go on.
Sure.
So just the one class is 30 minutes, and it helps get you into it. Canva's pretty intuitive, so I find it easier to use than most other tools, of its style. And of course, a lot of people are familiar with using Excel or spreadsheets. So using Google Sheets is again one of those easier things to
Yeah,
do.
a lot of people are familiar with those. So I just want
Yeah,
to say to everyone who sort of comes in and sees this and joins our chat, if you have any question to Maggie about this content creation and the painless posting, please put them in the chat. We'll try and answer them best we can. If
mm,
not, we'll come back to you after with an answer to your question. So a couple of things that spring to mind. Thank you for sharing that.
sure.
If because we all learn in different ways. If I don't really like learning from videos, will you hold my hand and guide me through how to do it the first week?
Yes. Yeah, I've been doing onboarding calls with people as well. So that helps them get familiar with the software. It helps them use it to the best that they can. We give tips and tricks. I have a VIP Facebook group where people can go in. We go live once a month when we release the new content for the month. And that also is a Q&A, and they can ask questions. And I also have an open door policy where it's like, email me. You've got a problem. Don't just sit there and be frustrated because I may know the answer and I can give it to you, in a few
Yes.
seconds. Most of and in the Facebook group too, people can leave comments, they can leave their posts. What do you think? I modified this. So it's a community based too. So people around them can say, well, do you like this one or this one? And people can chime in.
Yeah, I love doing one-to-one training using stuff like Zoom and Discord because you can record the session and then it's there. They can go back and see it again and again and again. So
Absolutely.
the fact that you have, I think that's lovely. Just talk to me about the pricing for the painless posting so that everyone who watches this can remember
Sure.
that.
So right now, the pricing is $100 a month. And if you buy a year, it's $1,000.
So
So when
just to let
know,
you say that that's about £65 in the
okay.
UK, £650 total. Yeah.
And, the thing is that, the I keep getting yelled at by business coaches and
You're
and
a good teacher.
friends who are really and they're like, "You have got to raise this price. You have got to raise this price." So I keep getting I one of these days, I'm gonna start listening to them. So I would suggest don't wait, lock in the price. Once people sign up, when I have a founder who comes in and signs up, they will always get VIP pricing. So they will always get that. They'll get the legacy pricing. I'm not going to say it's never going to go up because we're going to be adding features and things
Sure,
to it.
sure.
But that would be my strong suggestion. Sign up before I change my mind.
Yeah. I would say to any sort of social media company out there who are sourcing their content from external sources, you really need to have a chat with Maggie because it's really good stuff. So that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for explaining your product to us.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. We're going on to about 25 minutes, so it's about time to end. I'm afraid we can talk all day long about this. I'm sure. So
But thank
maybe
you so much, Brian. I thank you, and to having me on, and to your listeners. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to sit and talk with us. It's really wonderful to see what you've embraced the video and you do so well with it. We're all trying to figure it out, right? You
that's
do
it.
the things that make it work.
Absolutely, and I'm a big believer in helping. We should all help each other to become better and share
Yeah,
tips and tricks because why wouldn't we? It's all
right.
about community, really, isn't it? So, thank you very much, Maggie, for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure once again in the future we'll find a topic we can discuss again live. For everyone out there, thank you very much for joining. Since we're back from our holidays here at the Web Guys, I'm we're not going to be live next week. We have some business commitments that I'm afraid can't get out of. So, but on the 17th of August, I'm going to be joined by Marcus Chapman, who is he's a landlord, he's a property owner, and his business is called Attain Property. But he's not your standard landlord. He does it in a very, very different way that I've never seen before. So we're going to have a very interesting conversation about actually what it means to be in business of property, to being a landlord, and making that commercially viable in a very different way that doesn't perhaps require a huge investment. So if you don't have the big chunk of capital, Marcus might have a very, very smart way of getting into that. So please join me when he comes and joins us and enlightens us and tells us how he's found this different thing. Different way of doing it. So for now, thank you everyone for coming, joining us. Again, if you see this stream after we've been live, if you have any questions or for Maggie, or if you're not connected to Maggie already, you can find her on all the social media platforms. Please do go and connect with her. She's fantastic, and this Painless Posting is a really, really great product. So go and connect with Maggie if you're not already done that. Thank you for joining us, and we shall see you again in 2 weeks' time. Take care, everyone.